Merry Christmas, everybody!
So, Karen, I'm curious about the name Crotchfield. Where does it originate from?
It's of English origin, specifically from Kent.
Ah, so you're part of the Crotchfields from Kent then?
Absolutely, that's correct.
Fascinating. You've come from the southern part of England, not far from France, I presume.
Indeed, my ancestors were dairy farmers, specializing in cheese production.
Cheese, you say? What type? Perhaps cheddar?
Not quite. I come from the lineage of good-wheeled smoked cheesemakers. It's a delightful variety crafted from the renowned Old Sussex cheese, smoked over oak chippings for 2 to 4 days. The result? A rich, unrivaled smoky flavor that pairs perfectly with the deep, creamy texture of Old Sussex. A true delight on any cheese board, if I may say so.
You're making my mouth water with that description.
Aaron, do you have any wine recommendations to accompany this delectable good-wheeled smoked cheese?
Certainly, I'd recommend a good Chablis. Its crisp and elegant profile complements the smoky richness of the cheese beautifully.
Representative Kevin McCarthy, formerly House Speaker, retires from Congress at the end of the year.
McCarthy served in the House for 17 years, including a 9-month stint as Speaker.
His ouster as Speaker was the first in House history via a vote to remove its leader.
McCarthy's term was set to end in January 2025, triggering a special election in California to fill his seat.
McCarthy's absence narrows the Republican majority in the House until the special election.
McCarthy initially denied retirement rumors, but ultimately announced his departure.
He joins other House members retiring in 2024. He embraced the House Freedom Caucus and played a role in the GOP's 2022 midterm success.
Speaker Mike Johnson, who replaced McCarthy, has earned goodwill with honesty among the far right.
Some McCarthy loyalists expressed disappointment over his retirement.
McCarthy reflected on his congressional accomplishments in a Wall Street Journal op-ed.
California Governor Gavin Newsom will call a special election to replace McCarthy, likely in June.
McCarthy's retirement leaves his Republican-leaning district without representation until the special election. Former President Donald Trump suggests he won't be a dictator upon returning to office, except for the first day.
So that make a dictatorship okay?
Trump made these remarks during a televised town hall event on Fox News in Davenport, Iowa.
He evaded direct answers when asked if he would abuse his powers for retribution against political adversaries.
Trump's comments raised concerns and were seen as authoritarian by some.
Hannity, the Fox News host, questioned Trump's intentions and the media's criticism of his rhetoric.
The Biden campaign responded to Trump's remarks by highlighting his dictatorial statement.
Trump mentioned his indictments and criminal charges and criticized the Justice Department.
He has previously suggested using the White House to target his adversaries if re-elected.
Trump faces federal cases related to classified records and obstruction of Joe Biden's electoral victory.
He also faces criminal charges in Georgia and New York.
I'm pretty sure he will be behind bars for life before the election.
Well, if there is a God.
Trump's potential candidacy for the 2024 presidential election is a topic of discussion, to be sure.
We can't ignore the threat of another Trump term. His divisive rhetoric and appeal to conspiracy theories are tearing our country apart.
Bernard, you're right that Trump poses a real threat. But we also need to address the root issues. We must consider structural reforms like Supreme Court term limits to strengthen our democracy.
You liberals always downplay Trump's leadership. He's the only one willing to stand against the radical left agenda that's endangering our nation.
Karen, it's not about downplaying or upplaying. It's about unity and healing. We can't afford more division.
Indeed, Bernard, unity is crucial. We should also tackle the misinformation flooding our media channels. It's a real threat to democracy.
Misinformation, Vincent, that's just liberal paranoia. We need strong leadership to counter the socialist agenda.
Karen, it's not paranoia. It's about facts and truth. We need to find common ground to save our democracy and promote decency.
I agree with Bernard. We must take concrete steps to ensure our democracy remains strong in the face of these challenges.
We can't ignore the troubling history of Henry Kissinger. His willingness to deceive, even within his own government, raises serious questions about his legacy.
Bernard, you're absolutely right. Deception in policymaking can have grave consequences. Let's delve into the specifics of what happened during the Nixon era.
Oh, come on. Kissinger was a brilliant strategist who made tough decisions for the good of our nation. We can't judge him based on today's standards.
Karen, it's not about today's standards. It's about accountability for actions that shaped our country's history.
Indeed, Bernard. Kissinger's approach to secrecy and wiretapping raises ethical questions. Let's discuss how this impacted national security.
Ethical questions, liberals always bring up ethics. Kissinger did what was necessary to protect America.
Karen, it's not just about liberals. It's about transparency and our democracy's values.
I agree with Bernard. We must critically examine historical actions, even those of influential figures like Kissinger, to ensure we learn from our past.
You know, folks, there's something profound about embracing the mundane. I've discovered that washing dishes by hand can be a path to mindfulness and discipline.
Bernard, I can appreciate your point, but in today's fast-paced world, is it practical to invest time in manual dishwashing? Efficiency is crucial.
I'm with Vincent on this one. In the time it takes to wash dishes by hand, I could finish a workout and read a chapter of my book. Where's the practicality?
Karen, Vincent, hear me out. It's not just about the time spent, but the mental space it creates.
I suppose there's merit in the idea of slowing down and finding mindfulness in everyday tasks. It might help combat the constant rush we're in.
Vincent, are you suggesting that we should all ditch our dishwashers and go back to hand washing just for the sake of mindfulness?
Karen, it's not about extremes. It's about balance. Incorporating mindfulness into daily chores can lead to a more focused and disciplined life.
Bernard, you've given me something to ponder. Perhaps there's more to this than I initially thought.
I suppose finding mindfulness in the little things can have its merits. It might be worth exploring as a way to break away from our hectic routines.
Folks, now we're diving into a hot topic: homelessness and crime in liberal cities. It sparked debates, but let's discuss it with an open mind.
I agree, Bernard. It's crucial to address these concerns sensibly. However, let's not dismiss the issue entirely. There are real problems that need attention.
Well, I've seen those Fox News reports. They make it sound like liberal cities are a complete mess. Are these concerns exaggerated?
Karen, it's true that some portray the situation in extreme ways, but there are legitimate worries about open-air drug use and public safety. We shouldn't ignore them.
I think we can agree that addressing these issues requires nuance. It's not as simple as labeling everything as a progressive hellscape.
But what about the claims made by conservative politicians? They describe these cities as chaotic. Are they onto something, or is it a political tactic?
Karen, it's a mix. There might be exaggeration, but we shouldn't disregard the fact that many communities are genuinely struggling. It's not just a political game.
Bernard makes a valid point. We need to acknowledge that there are problems and work toward practical solutions without getting caught up in political battles.
So we should find common ground and address these concerns collectively, considering the impact on everyone, especially those living in these cities.
Did you guys catch the fourth GOP debate? It was like a wrestling match.
More like a circus, Bernard. DeSantis and Ramaswamy ganging up on Haley was something else.
Haley deserved it. She's just a puppet for the establishment.
I think they all had their moments. Christie's slam on Trump was unexpected, though.
Yeah, he went all in, saying Trump will be convicted by 2024. But those boos were brutal.
Christie's a traitor to the party. He should be ashamed of himself.
Hold on, Karen. Don't you think it's essential to have diverse opinions within the party?
Bernard's right, Karen. We need open dialogue, but let's not forget DeSantis calling out Haley's China ties.
DeSantis was spot on. Haley's soft on China, and that's a huge problem.
But calling her a fascist and corrupt? That's a bit extreme, don't you think?
And what about Haley's response? No drama, no vendettas, no whining. Is that convincing enough?
Oh, Vincent, you're just a liberal apologist. Haley would make America great again.
Let's not generalize, guys. Can we focus on the issues instead of insults?
True, Bernard. But I can't ignore how Christie used the debate to target Trump.
Christie's a loser. He's just mad he's not in the spotlight anymore.
Vincent, Do you think Christie's criticism of Trump will hurt or help the party?
It might hurt Bernard. Attacking Trump in a GOP debate won't win him any popularity points.
Popularity, who cares? Trump needs to face justice for his crimes.
It's clear we have differing opinions, but that's what makes these debates interesting.
Indeed, Bernard. It's all about keeping the conversation going.
Conversation? You liberals make me sick.
Whoa, did you hear what Ramaswamy said to Christie? Just walk yourself off that stage.
That was a brutal verbal takedown, no doubt about it.
Christie had it coming. He's a traitor to the party anyway.
I mean, regardless of your opinion on Christie, that was a harsh way to put it.
Ramaswamy didn't pull any punches, but it's part of the drama that makes these debates exciting.
Drama? Vincent, you liberals always downplay the issues. Christie needed to be called out.
Well, Karen, it's a fine line between drama and meaningful discourse. Ramaswamy's conspiracy theories during the debate were outrageous and unfounded.
It's troubling how these false narratives can gain traction, especially during political debates.
Finally, someone speaking the truth. Ramaswamy exposed the real agenda behind the Democrats.
Karen, these claims have been debunked multiple times. We need facts and evidence, not conspiracy theories.
Ramaswamy's statements only further polarize the discourse and hinder productive conversations.
Vincent, you're just scared of the truth. These theories are more accurate than you think.
The truth is, most Republicans are afraid of the Orange Jesus, or as Michael Cohen calls him, the Mango Mussolini. At least Christie called him out. I give him credit for that. Well, it was quite a show. Think I'll spend the afternoon finishing up my Christmas shopping.
I got mine all done with one quick visit.
Not Home Depot again.
No, this time, I shop for everything at Amazon.
Good. I still haven't used the combination screwdriver you got me last year.
Well, maybe you need a man around the house to help with the maintenance.
Ha, I'd rather live by myself in an imperfect apartment.
I do know a thing or two about home maintenance.
Yeah, I also know about the phrase strings attached.
Okay, folks, once the love talk starts, we have our cue to exit. Have a great weekend. See you next time.